This video is brought to you by Grand Gamers Guild. I've been waiting for this game for ages. There was a time when the Portuguese duo of Paulo Soledad and Nuno Bizarro Santiero were foremost in the minds of Eurogame players around the world. They published some absolutely barnstorming games about a decade ago. Madeira, Panamax, Nippon are all very clever designs that manage to parlay heavyweight mechanisms into highly playable economic games. There was a time when you asked someone to name a Portuguese game designer, their names would have tripped off the tongue rather than the heavyweight brand that is Vital Lacerda. Then they disappeared. There are some of you watching this that will be familiar with the circumstances surrounding this disappearance. There are some of you that will have very strong opinions too, with some justification. This isn't that video though. I'm here to talk about a game and its merits. If you want to comment though, feel free. I know a part of the story, but not all of it, and besides, this is not my story to tell. It's enough to say that Asian Tigers is the first game from this formerly very well-known partnership, and for that reason alone it's worth talking about. Asian Tigers is published by small Portuguese publishing house Pythagoras Games, and it was a cause of some excitement for me when it was announced. At Essen, I managed to get a copy, and then, because adult life is a series of reasons to cancel plans for things you want to do, I didn't play it until recently. And then I played it a lot, because spoilers, Asian Tigers is really good. This is a stripped back production, and because it's very easy to judge a game by the amount of dildos in its box, this one will probably be ignored. This is folly. Start to play this game, and all of those embarrassingly shallow aesthetic considerations melt away into the joy of manipulating the brilliantly tooled mechanism. This is a fantastic game by two designers that the internet drove away, but they had the courage to come back. And it was worth it. In Asian Tigers, we take on the roles of outside investors seeking to ride the dragon of Asian investment as they experience their own Wirtschaftswunder. The Asian Tigers of the title are South Korea, Taiwan, Singapore and Hong Kong, and you want to gain influence in their growth so you can gain a return on your investment. You will help to build universities, power plants, research labs, and help to develop manufacturing infrastructure. This will enable them to grow their economic base and expand into the global market and reward you for your faith. There are 2 rounds in the game, and at the beginning of a round, you will pull workers from a bag of 3 tones, white, black and grey. These workers will be placed on a track randomly, which will dictate the order in which they can be played. On your turn, you'll place your next available worker. These spaces allow you to help construct the vital infrastructures that this particular tiger requires. Once a worker of a particular colour is placed in a particular space, only workers of the same colour can be placed there. Then, you'll build a structure by removing pieces from your player board and placing them on the main board. Remove them judiciously and you'll uncover bonuses and collect export goods. These can then be sold on the global markets that will help trigger endgame scoring conditions by acquiring flags from the nation you've sold to. As you place pieces within each tiger, you'll increase your influence with them and sell a shit ton of stuff. All of this is done, of course, to score points. And after the second round, the person with the most points will be the victor in Asian Tigers.
Alright, this is Bob, Ben's brother. You can tell because I's the one who wears the glasses, see? And that's how people tells us apart when we at parties. They go, oh, you look like each other. And he says, well, there's Bob, he wears the glasses, see? So that's me, I wears the glasses. That's how you knows it's me, Bob, not Ben. Anyway, enough about that, glasses. I'm here to talk about the sponsor of this video. It's Grand Gamers Guild, see? And there, I've got it on the computer screen here. So I'm just going to have a quick read, hang on. It is the Holiday Hijinks Master Detective Collection. That's a nice name, isn't it? Anyway, see, this is a late pledge, like they says backer kit or something. I don't know what it is. They just said read it, and I reads it, and they says read it, and I reads it. So you can get backer kit at the Grand Gamers Guild, grand-gamers-guild.pledgemanager.com. Holiday Hijinks Detective Collection. You got one for 11 quid. That's dollars, not poundingtons. You got another. Here, look. 39 quid for 3 of them. And then, for what's nothing, 72 quid, that's dollars. So in quidlingtons, that's about 9 quidlingtons. You got 1 to 12, that's 12 18 card escape room boxes. That's, if you're looking at 2 hours per one, probably a bit more. 12 of them. How many is that? Hours of entertainment. It's like 65,000 hours of entertainment. So, get yourself to Grand Gamers Guild, grand-gamers-guild.pledgemanager.com. Get the Holiday Hijinks Detective Collection. Nice use of assonance there. And spend some money, get the escape route games. And what was that?
Would you just bloody get on with it and tell the bloody people what to do?
Oh, all right.
God!
Thank you for sponsoring the podcast, and I'll get back to it. It's scrubbing the floors. I don't do anything else. I'm not much good at anything else anyway. Detective Collection.
Is one of those games that performs a kind of wonderful alchemy that lets you know that the designers are masters of their craft. The turns in Asian Tigers are simple, but the ramifications of those few simple hand gestures reverberate through a play of the game, and like a 3D print, starts from a thin layer of plastic but ends up in an intricate construction, so a simple turn becomes a whole network of deeply satisfying decisions in a game of Asian Tigers. You place a bloke, then a token, and then a load of things happen. This is great. All of the myriad of destinations and the complex systems that lie within the game are boiled down to place a bloke and then a token. This is supreme design. Saying that though, the game can seem opaque on a first play. All of the options are splayed out in front of you, but after a couple of turns, a strategy will begin to emerge from the mist of mechanisms. Then you get to think. The game flows so well, with the bonuses on your player board offering signposts through the game. They allow you to do things like give a much needed boost to your influence in a country, or build your headquarters in a country, giving you even greater influence. But you need to be quick, because only one headquarters can be built per country. And influence is important here. There are 2 intermediate scorings before the end game, and points are distributed based on influence. The more influence, the more points. But you have to get in there first. This is a brilliant aspect to Asian Tigers. It models the scramble that companies engage in when new markets open. There is an inbuilt tension here as you try to beat the other bastards to that juicy university department or power plant, and then there is great joy to beating them to it. I love a good gazump, and there is loads of gazumping in a game of Asian Tigers. Also, the worker placement mechanism here is a wonderful puzzle to solve. You need to plan your path through the round, and the colours of the workers dictate that. If a black worker is placed in a space and you only have grey workers for the next 3 turns, you better work out what to do with them and hope that sociopath opposite you doesn't steal your spot. The real joy in games like this for me is the time between turns, when I'm riddling my way through my next turn and hoping that will feed into my overall strategy. There is so much of this in Asian Tigers. This is a game that is designed to produce the kind of deep thought that can result in the most wonderful flow. If you like your brain drenched in loads of euphoria-producing chemicals, you'll find it here. There is just such a brilliant leverage of short and long-term goals here. In the short term, you want to get the next bonus for removing that marker, and these feed into the overall strategy that you've pieced together during the game. This isn't oxymoronic either, as your general heuristics feed into a strategy that evolves as the game evolves. Do not ignore the global market though. This unlocks the game end scoring and can be easy to forget to invest in, and if you do, you will lose. There are so many points awarded through these. This isn't a weakness in the design, but it could result in a disappointing experience if you stay too parochial. The biggest complaint I've heard about Asian Tigers is a facile one. It runs that the game is crap because it looks like shit. True that in their attempts to ape 60s and 70s aesthetics, they've produced a game that is dull to look at. This is a shame, not because I need to be dazzled by multicoloured children's art when I play a game, but that it may deter people from playing it. Don't judge a game by its dildos, judge it by its mechanisms, and the mechanisms in this one are simply brilliant. This is a great return to form from designers that have been away too long, and hopefully we'll see a lot more from Paolo and Nuno in the future. So thank you for watching. You can like the video if you liked the video. You can subscribe to the channel and tell me if the subscribe button goes all coloury when I say that. Down below you'll find a link to the best Discord in gaming and to my merch store where there's loads of cool stuff. You can even help to make these videos by going to patreon.com/5G4D and backing the show like these lovely people. Right, I'm off to go and have a lie down because playing a game like Asian Tigers makes me think, and thinking makes me sleepy.